So today we are going to be taking a trip around the world. We've got some breakfast dishes from Poland, Mexico, and Japan. 4 different dishes in total, 3 different countries. My husband is from Mexico, so we eat a lot of Mexican food in our household. I have 2 different dishes from Mexico, and then I visited Poland when I was in high school, 18 years old. I visited Poland and I was there for a month, and we literally ate just about the same thing for breakfast almost every day. So I'm going to be showing you a traditional Polish breakfast, what I ate while I was there. Our last breakfast is going to be from Japan. I just love the aesthetic and the attention to detail in Japanese cuisine. So we are going to be taking a traditional Japanese egg roll, and we are going to be simplifying it down to make it easier for us to make. All right, guys, let's go. First up, Poland. So here we have our traditional Polish style breakfast. I have some good quality sliced bread, as well as a variety of vegetables. I have some cucumber, tomato, and onion that I have sliced up thin. This is just enough to serve one, so this is my breakfast today. But yeah, some fresh sliced bread, some fresh sliced veggies, seasoned with salt and pepper, and finally some sliced smoked sausage. This just happens to be salami. In Poland, they have a lot of different varieties of smoked sausage, but any kind of sliced smoked sausage that you would like. You can almost think of this as a charcuterie board, because that's kind of what it's it's kind of what it's like. And then also some cheese. I do have some imported cheese from a local store. The Polish grocery store, they have Polish imports. So I do have Polish style cheese, but obviously not everyone has access to that. So I will put some equivalents that you can find in an American style grocery store up here on the screen. So this is a super simple breakfast idea. There's no cooking required. So to serve this, I have started by spreading a bit of my cheese onto my sliced bread. And then we can just add some of our meat. And then finally, we'll just top it off with some fresh veggies. So before I visited my friend in Poland, I had been having conversations with her about the lifestyle, what I could basically expect. I was so young, I really didn't know what to expect. So we were talking about, what kinds of things they usually eat on a day-to-day basis. So she made reference to eating sandwiches for breakfast. And I was like, sandwiches? It sounds more like lunch to us. But in any case, yeah, in Poland, most people, a lot of the time, eat sandwiches for breakfast. And so here we have something very similar to what we had while we were there, a Polish-style breakfast sandwich. And our second recipe is going to be from Japan. Here I have 3 beaten eggs with salt and pepper to taste, and I added a little bit of green onion for extra flavor. To a medium-sized pan, I have added about 1/3 of the egg mixture, which approximately is 1 egg. As you can see, it is very, very thin, almost like a crepe. And this will give our egg a much more thin and tender and delicate texture, which is very pleasing to eat. The original Japanese way of making this would continue to slowly roll it into a large, very thin roll. But this is easier, honestly, and I think it comes up with the same result. And I'm just going to serve mine with a slice of toast, and I've added a little bit of cinnamon sugar over the top. Obviously, I don't think there's anything Japanese about that, but I just wanted some toast. And as you can see, the egg is very thin and delicate and soft. This was so good. So simple and so good. I highly recommend trying this. Finally, we've got 2 dishes from Mexico. Next up is a simplified version of Mexican chilaquiles. To start, just add some cooking oil to a pan. I usually add quite a bit more cooking oil than I would normally use for just regular eggs. These are fresh corn tortillas. We are lucky to have a Mexican store right down the street from our house. But if you don't have that, you can simply buy the soft corn tortillas, Mission, for instance, or there's so many brands available at Walmart and other regular grocery stores. So I've diced my tortilla into cubes and I'm just going to add that into the oil. That's why we added quite a bit of oil because we want to fry those. Next, we'll just season the tortilla. I'm going to use this potato slayer seasoning, but you could also simply use salt and pepper or any other seasonings that you have on hand. The idea is just to make sure you season the tortilla. And then we're just going to give our tortilla a good mix because we want to make sure that it's well coated in that oil and to combine our tortilla and spices. I'm going to serve mine with some fresh queso fresco that we bought from that Mexican store down the street. But if you don't have access to that, there is some sold in the regular supermarket as well. In addition to the queso, we're also going to garnish with some avocado. Here, I'm going to demonstrate my favorite way to cut an avocado, which I find to be the easiest. I'm just going to cut all the way around it, and then I can pull it apart. And then to remove that pesky pit, I'm just going to strike it with my knife and then give it a little turn, and it'll pop right out. And then you can just slice it into basically quarters, and then that will just peel right off. So my queso and avocado garnishes are ready. Just put those aside on a plate. And then I'm just going to crack however many eggs I need. This is actually my husband serving all by himself. He eats a lot of food. He has a manual job and he spends 2 to 3 hours every day in the gym. So he eats a lot of food. So this is actually just enough food for him. But by all means, adjust the amount of the egg and the tortilla to feed however many people you have to feed in your house. And the same is true when you prepare your garnishes. Just make it appropriate for the number of people in your household. This is my favorite salsa, but obviously you're just going to garnish it with your favorite salsa as well. Next, we're going to go ahead and beat our eggs. I'm just using a fork, and then we're going to also season it with some salt and pepper. You can season it any way you want. And then I'm just going to continue to beat my egg. I've just gone ahead and sped this up because I don't think you need to watch this in real time. And as we've been preparing our eggs, our tortillas are now fried up. I've just been giving those a quick mix on the stove as I've been doing everything else. So our tortillas have a nice brown on them. So we're just going to go ahead and add in that seasoned egg. And we're just going to go ahead and fry these up together. Again, this is another thing that I've gone ahead and just sped up for your convenience so you're not watching this in real time. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to scramble this until everything is well cooked through. All those eggs are cooked. And so this is a really popular dish that you can buy in a Mexican restaurant. This is a really simplified homemade version that we make in our household all the time. My husband is Mexican, so this is a legit like Mexican dish that we make at home all the time. And also this is an incredibly cheap recipe to make. You only need just eggs and tortillas, super cheap, super budget friendly. You can literally top it with anything you want, any way you want. You can use regular shredded cheese if you would prefer that. I am showing you how we garnish ours in our household, which is with the queso fresco, a traditional Mexican style cheese, as well as avocado and some salsa. And this is a totally different dish, but we arrange our garnishes on top like this. Next up is another Mexican dish and one of our all-time favorites, Huevos a la Mexicana. This is easy to make. We're going to start by dicing up some onion. I'm using red onion. You can use whatever onion you want. Just add the diced onion to a hot skillet. I've also got some diced jalapeno. You can remove the seeds if it's too spicy. I'm just going to saute these in the oil until they start to get browned up and they are all tender. Once the onion and jalapeno are tender, I'm going to add some diced tomato along with some salt and pepper to taste. You can also use other seasonings if you would prefer, but we're just going to season it to taste and then we're going to cook until the tomatoes soften. As our veggies cook in the skillet, next we're going to add our eggs to a bowl and we're just going to give those a good whisk. You can add however many veggies and however many eggs makes sense for your family size. Again, this is my husband serving, so this is for one person, this is for him. So I'm just mixing up his eggs this morning for his breakfast. And again, I'm just going to season with salt and pepper, but season to taste. And to our softened veggies, we're going to go ahead and add our beaten eggs. And finally, we are just going to cook this all together. It's going to be like regular scrambled eggs. We're just going to scramble it up in the skillet until everything is cooked through. And then we're going to add it to our plate along with some tortillas and some fresh queso fresco, as well as avocado. This is probably one of the most popular Mexican dishes that you would get for breakfast at any Mexican restaurant. It is so easy and so cheap to make at home, so there is no reason to go to a restaurant and pay super high prices for a fraction of the food. This is one of our all-time favorites. You've got to give this one a try. So I hope you enjoyed these recipes. If you would like more international inspired recipes, please let me know in the comments. In addition to any other types of videos that you guys want to see. I also made another video a couple of weeks ago with our favorite breakfast, and that video will be right up here. So I hope you enjoyed these recipes, and I'll see you guys next time.